right, so hey, how's it? Thank you. I know that we're a bit behind. Travis was texting me and saying, hey, you're an hour behind, but not quite. I think we've done pretty well, to be honest, Trav. So, welcome to the Whānau, and as I said earlier, the purpose of your kōrero is to share with us, with an eye to the future, the potential of e-commerce and how you think e-commerce can transform the lives of whānau and also our economy. So, the floor is yours, my bro.
Well, kia ora everyone. I'm Travis O'Keefe. I'm Taitokerau, as Kay Marie said, from Whangara up the East Cape. If you give me the hosting rights, I can share a presentation. And then I'll talk through a little bit about who we are, where we're from. But I can't do that right now because the host has disabled the participant screen sharing.
Yeah, that's okay. And we'll just continue as we do, because technology is our friend. Just generally, though, Travis, I kind of briefly talked about what Te Whare Hukahuka does. What is your vision and your mission?
So a little bit about Te Whare Hukahuka. The name means the House of Innovation. We have the vision to improve the lives of 10 million Indigenous people, which takes us beyond Te Ao Māori. We have a little bit about us as we've been around for 8 years now, working in Te Ao Māori. And we have, if I just blow that up so everyone can see.
Yeah, we can see you.
Working 8 years, we've trained over 1,000 Māori leaders. And for our efforts, we've won 10 different awards. And this is what we broadly do. 4 things. Māori business strategy, so working mostly with our collectives. Māori governance training, Māori SME or business coaching, and then e-commerce for Māori. And that's what I'm here to talk about. That's broadly what we do. I'm going to move fast because I know, Kay, you guys are running behind.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to try and do my best to get through it. So I just want to tell you about an idea that we had 7 years ago working with another iwi. And we were set the challenge to come up with what would be the best return on investment to creating social impact for the iwi. And after we found a bit of research which showed that if you had $1 to spend, the best way to spend that dollar to create social impact, to create well-being for whānau, is growing the disposable household income. What that fancy, sentence means, it means increasing the amount of money, putia, that's left over after you've paid for your expenses of all the combined incomes in your house. And what research showed is that if you increase that amount, it had a multiplier effect. It would improve housing because people could afford better housing. They could get warmer housing. Kai on the table, improve education because they could pay for different things from school. It improves health because they could travel to the doctor and so forth. So it has a multiplier effect, growing the disposable household income. There are broadly 2 ways to do that. One way is reducing major expenses. And we've been working with other collectives to do that. And that's largely by bulk purchasing of major household expenses such as rent, electricity, kai, petrol. The other side, which is also relevant to e-commerce, is increasing incomes. And we began 7 years ago with this iwi looking at how do we create incomes through e-commerce or selling your skills online. And basically what we do is we created a training program which teaches our whānau how to build a e-commerce system or create a business online and sell your products and services. And so we see a lot of our students are selling everything from carvings to crafts to their services, to kite, to kai, and all online. And they're selling it not just in New Zealand, but globally. And so one of the major advantages of selling via e-commerce is you can reach a global market, but still run it from the kāinga. So you can still run it from a laptop. Fast forward along this journey of working with a Siwi over 7 years, what we had to do is we had to learn ourselves. We weren't from e-commerce, we're like teachers. We come from a teaching background. And so what we did is I studied 24 e-commerce gurus for 2 years. So after my normal day job, I worked all night and then I studied them for 2 years. And then as I was studying them, I noticed some patterns that they were doing. There were some patterns that all these 24 gurus had, which they were all the same. They had a similar business system. They had a similar business plan, and they had a similar business strategy, and they did things in the operational level similar. And I noticed all those patterns. And then that's what I took out. I took all those patterns and I put it into a podcast, and you can see the link here. You can access that podcast, which explains all those patterns. Normally we sell that to our clients, all this information that's in those podcasts for $500, but you can access it via that link for free. And I think Kay Marie will have a copy of this presentation, be able to submit it up on the website for you to get that link. But the main thing about it is we had all these really interesting insights of what was working by the gurus. These are guys, not theorists or academics. These are people that actually had 7- and 8-figure e-commerce businesses.
Trevor, sorry, bro. We can't see your presentation. We're still on the Our Achievement slide.
Our Achievement, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just try that. Can you see that one?
Yes, there we go. We were just kind of hovering around. I thought you were going to get to it. Good, well done.
Oh.
Can't wait.
So let me know if it's not working, and I can stop the share and then start the share.
No, you're good.
Okay, so this is the link. So just to reiterate those key points, all 24 gurus had similar business systems, similar business plans, similar business strategies, and operational tactics. And I've captured all that, and for free, you can get all that information, saving you 2 years of learning and lessons by just going to this link. But Kay Marie will have it in the presentation. I'll give you this presentation. You guys can get it later. Kapai, okay?
Yep, kapai.
Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what this all resulted in is we created this program called Kahao I Te Ao, which is a 3-month training e-commerce program. And where we don't just teach you the whole e-commerce system that the gurus are using, but we actually help you to walk alongside you and build it. So it's not just building a website like everyone tells you. Like if you just build a website and you're going to make money, it's not true. That is not true. You need 3 things. You need traffic. Traffic means potential customers coming into your web store. You need, the second thing is you need an online website that converts that traffic, those people, into sales. And then the third thing you need is something called an autoresponder. And an autoresponder is how you bring people that have gone from your website, how you bring them back into your website. And you need those 3 things. We teach that on e-commerce on the Kahao training program. And we've got scholarships. We've currently got 66 students going through right now. And we're just about to recruit for another 100 students. So we're looking for people to apply. If you want to apply, you can go to our website there, and in the top left-hand corner, you'll find a drop-down menu called Digital E-commerce. And if you go to that page, it'll explain far more information, and you can see people who have been on it, their video clips, and you'll understand, the subjects that are covered, and you'll get a deeper understanding of e-commerce. Why e-commerce? I think for Whānau, it overcomes a lot of the challenges. So when you live remotely in somewhere like Whangara, which is a population of 300, it's rural, it's you're either a fisherman there or you're a farmer. When you live in that, but it's still got internet connection to the marae, you can still run a world-class business from there, as long as you've got internet connection. So you can live in the kāinga and you can still reach people from around the world. That's the point 1. The second thing of why e-commerce, when you go and start a business such as a retail store, that's a higher cost. You need a higher amount of money to start a retail store because you've got to pay for rent, and then you need stock to put in there and so forth. Whereas in e-commerce, it's less. You just need a website and a laptop to run your website and an e-commerce system and know-how, and you can start generating money as soon as you turn it on, once you set the system up. So the accessibility of creating a business in this way is far superior than a traditional bricks and mortar business.
We're still on that scholarship page. Are you still there? Oh,
Yeah,
no, we're
still
cool.
there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Let me just. So that's two of the reasons why I do e-commerce. The third thing about e-commerce is you can, now that you guys are used to COVID and everyone's online, the opportunity is absolutely massive. In New Zealand, there was some research that came out recently, and the research showed that there was massive growth. There was, in the same 3 months, in 3 months this year, would be the same amount of growth as there was for 5 years. So 5 years growth happened in 3 months, and it's continuing to go. There's research that came out by the New Zealand Post, 2020 e-commerce research, which gives a whole lot of information and data about the growth of e-commerce. It's massive. It's a really good way for Māori, I believe, to take advantage and catch this wave before a lot of mainstream New Zealanders do. Because New Zealand's so far behind in the stats that I've seen. Most businesses aren't very good with their online business, but Māori can get an advantage here by getting in there fast, understanding how to do it, and growing and scaling over time. Cool, that's about e-commerce. I just want to end on this last slide, which is if you're a SME business in a recession. And this is the advice that we always give to as a business coach. If you're a tourism business, like you're fucked. Like this in this current economy, it's you need to retrain because there's so much intense competition for the local market. When the borders do open, there's still going to be an intense amount of competition for that. So you can either get your online presence really good or retrain. So that would be some of the suggestions if you're in that industry. But if you're not, and you're in a retail business or service business, then the 4 bits of advice that we give are retain your existing customers. So work on going out to your existing customers, call them up and ask them, is there any way that you can help them? That's the first thing you do. The second thing we say is focus on sales, but not sales to everyone. Focus on sales to something called key influencers. Key influencers are people that have large groups of your ideal customer because they all follow them. And what you want to do is you want to do a joint venture with the person that has all the big followers of your ideal customer and do a joint venture so that you reach many just by working on one relationship. The third thing that we recommend is e-commerce, which I've talked about previously, an important thing. And then fourth thing, we say if none of those things are working effectively for you, then pivot, this word called pivot, which just means change direction of your business. But when people change direction of their business, the way they think about that is trying to sell their existing products or services to another type of customer. But what pivot to an adjacent market really means is to export your skills and your capabilities inside your business to another market. So export your skills and capabilities, not your products and services, to another market. So in summary, the advice around recession for small businesses, this is after you've done the cost cutting, after you've done the efficiencies. They won't save you. What saves you is innovation and sales and marketing, and there are 4 planks to it. Retain existing customers, focus on key influencers, e-commerce, and the pivot. Kia ora whānau.
Kia ora.
Was that 10 minutes, Kay? Did I make it?
Well done. Ka pai you. Ho mai te paki whānau.